Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're back in Warframe to learn about the Helminth System and how to use it in your builds. But before we talk about that, we need to address some prerequisites that you have to achieve before even thinking about doing anything with the Helminth. The first thing you need to do is unlocking the Helminth room in your orbiter. To do this, you need to either get a Helminth Cyst on your Warframe or equip Nidus or Nidus Prime for the first time. If you want to get infected, which is a bit weird, you need to come in contact with another player inside any mission. Dojus and orbiters work too. Aborting or leaving the mission too early won't give you the cyst, so keep this in mind. The cyst can be removed after it's fully mature by sitting on the Helminth chair. After having unlocked this room, it's time to reach MR8 and move on to Deimos and start increasing your standing up to rank 3 with the Entrati. This will unlock the Helminth segment blueprint in Son's shop that will cost you 15,000 standing. I recommend doing Mother's bounties to grab a lot of tokens and trade those for standings, but if you don't like doing bounties, you can also go hunting for tags. Then after you buy the segment, you have to build it, and this will take 24 hours, and when it's ready, you can insert it in the Helminth room in your orbiter. The game will ask you to give a name to your Helminth, and you can change this at any point in the game by interacting with the console by the entrance, and then the real grind begins. First of all, you need to feed your Helminth a bunch of resources to start leveling your Metamorphosis rank from rank 0 to rank 1. This unlocks the ability to subsume Warframes, and from now on you can start subsuming normal Warframes, no primes or Umbra ones, and there is no choice of what ability you can get from those subsumed Warframes. Each Warframe can be subsumed once and will give you only one ability chosen by the E that can either be the same as the one that subsumed Warframe had or a weaker version of it. This depends on the E's balancing, so you have no control over this. And it takes 23 hours to subsume a Warframe completely, but if you don't want to wait all this time, you can escape it by paying 50 platinums. Be absolutely sure that you have chosen the correct Warframe to subsume, because there is no going back. After the Helminth starts eating the Warframe, it's gone forever. After the Helminth is done eating your Warframe, a cute little lotus with the color palette of the subsumed Warframe will appear near the wall, and if you sit on the chair, you are now able to see the ability you got from that Warframe you just pretty much killed, and yeah, you'll be able to add this ability to any other Warframes kit. Helminth doesn't just sit there waiting for your offerings, it wants them all the time. You'll have to feed the Helminth different resources to keep subsuming Warframes and adding abilities to others. To do this, you need the correct secretions for that specific ability or Warframe you want to subsume. There's a long list of items you can use, and you can track it in the feed option while sitting on the Helminth chair. Helminth is also very picky when it comes to eating your hard-earned resources, and it always wants different ones to satisfy its appetite the most. If you see a green arrow pointing up, that means that resource is very appetizing to your Helminth, and it will give you a bonus amount of secretions up to 30%, depending on how filled the arrow is. But if you instead see a red arrow pointing down, that means the Helminth is bored of eating that item and will give you less secretions instead, all the way down to 50% less secretions. If there's no arrow, that means the Helminth is okay with eating that, but you won't get any bonuses from that resource. Feeding different resources, it's the best thing you can do and will give you the best results. After 24 hours, every neutral resource will reset to being fully green, and you'll be able to feed the Helminth again and make use of that juicy bonus. Fully red arrows will reset after 48 hours instead, because it takes 24 hours to go from red to neutral and 24 more from neutral to green. You are now able to use the Helminth immense potential by subsuming all the Warframes you can and gaining access to all their abilities. There are some rules to this. For example, you can't have more than one damage boosting ability on a Warframe, so your Chroma has to get rid of Vex armor if you want to keep Roar instead, and this applies to many other abilities, although there are some exceptions. For example, you can keep Shooting Gallery on Chroma as well, and this also applies to all the abilities that give you more damage by using augments like Volt Shock or Open Smite. You can only have one Helminth ability per loadout slot on your Warframe. This means no double subsumed abilities or crazy stuff like that. Any Warframe with a Helminth ability has also access to the augments for that specific ability. This opens a lot more possibilities for many Warframes, so if you have enough resources to fit to your Helminth, have fun trying things out and see what you can do with this amazing system. If you don't want a certain ability anymore, you can remove it while sitting on the Helminth chair, and this will get rid of it from any loadout slot that had the ability on your Warframe. I talked about Metamorphosis, and this is the rank system used by the Helminth and dictates how much it likes you. By increasing its rank, you'll gain access to additional unique helmet abilities, additional subsume slots, and also being able to reset the helmet's appetite towards a certain resource by using sentient items. The helmet can also be upgraded to grant you access to Invigorations. To unlock this new system, you need to go back to Deimos, level your Entrati standing up to rank 5, and you'll need 30,000 more standing to buy the Helminth Invigoration segment from Son. Then go back to your ship, wait for it to craft for another 24 hours, and then you can install it in the helmet room. Invigorations are special buffs given to selected warframes once a week that you can activate and use for 7 days. There are 8 ton of buffs that we can divide in offensive and utility buffs. Offensive are usually ability or damage related, and utility buffs are usually more survivability, better energy economy, or movement buffs. Each selected warframe has access to one buff from both these categories, and you can activate it by paying a secretion price. Helminth is also where you go when you need to install Archon Shards. To be able to install them, you need the Helminth Archon Shard segment obtained by completing the Veilbreaker quest. And of course you need to build it and wait another 24 hours, because of course you do. Installing shards doesn't require any additional resource, but removing them costs 30% of your buy, one of the secretions. Shards can be obtained by doing weekly Archon hunts, opening nature cells, or from the rewards you obtain by taking part in Deep Archimedia or Elite Deep Archimedia. Archon Shards are probably the most desired item for endgame players because they allow your warframes to gain even more stats and more buffs. There are currently 6 different Archon Shards, and those are Crimson, Azure and Ember, and the combinations of those 3, which are Violet, Topaz and Emerald. Each shard has 5 unique stats or buffs, and when installed on a warframe, you can choose one of those to add to your build. To craft the latter 3 shards, you need to first build another segment, the Helminth Coalescent segment. You can buy the blueprint from Burden 3 in Deimos for 30,000 standing after reaching rank 2 with Caveat, which is still on Deimos by the way. This is a minor spoiler I guess, so I am sorry. This will of course take another 24 hours to build, and then you can start fusing your Crimson, Azure and Ember shards to make the other 3. This fusion consumes 2 of the base shards and will result in one of the coalescent ones. Crimson and Azure create a Violet shard, Crimson and Ember create a Topaz shard, and Azure and Ember create an Emerald shard. All of the shards can also be upgraded to Tauforge ones by performing Ascent Fusion. This consumes 3 shards of the same type to create one Tauforged. Tauforged shards keep the same buffs of the respective colors, but they give 50% more of those stats or buffs than the normal shards. To perform any of these fusions, you'll need Stella, which is a resource unique to Albrecht Laboratories on Deimos. And that's pretty much the Helminth system. It's a very important part of Warframe builds nowadays, and it allows for almost infinite combinations of abilities and builds. Of course, not all abilities will fit with all the warframes, but by testing and with some knowledge you can create your own unique build that you can use in your everyday mission. Okay, time for a small channel update and a me update as well. I am sorry if my voice sounds a bit weird, but I am currently sick. I somehow caught a cold, so my voice is all over the place. But yeah, I hope I can get myself back into shape very soon and back into my usual schedule as well, because yeah, I have been taking quite a break. Mostly because I've been playing Marvel Rivals and Minecraft with some friends, so my time has been yeah, completely overtaken by that. But I'm back on track now. I just need to get rid of this stupid cold, and I'll be back on making content for you guys. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, remember to give it a like, and if you like my content, consider subscribing. I wish you a beautiful rest of the day, and bye bye.